Welcome back. Our last guest is health coach Denise Mokadsi, and the topic we'll be discussing is anxiety, depression and brain fog in your DNA, and what your genes reveal about you and your mental health and what you can do about it. Welcome, Denise.
Hi, how you going?
Many people struggle with mental health issues and depression and anxiety and brain fog. How do our genetics play a part in that?
Many people do struggle with mental health issues, and we've got a very stressful lifestyle, most of us. And epigenetics is really a way that we can look at how can we use our genes as information to how we might be able to better handle mental health. Epigenetics might be a term that viewers have heard of before, but may not really understand. An easy way to look at it, I find, is to use an analogy, and this particular one could be like music. So if we think of our DNA or our genes like the notes on a sheet of music, and when we can't change that, so the notes are already there, but how we play those notes is kind of like our lifestyle. And together, how we play the notes is our result, like our outcomes that we see. That together is kind of the epigenetics. So basically it's our lifestyle influencing our genes. And when we understand how we might be able to do certain things in our lifestyle to get better influences on our genes, then we can have a bit more control over how we handle stress and that kind of, how we're coming across from a mental perspective, how well we can handle things because of what we're doing in our lifestyle.
Can you share some examples of knowing your genetic profile and how it can help someone manage their mental health issues?
Because we're all individuals, we've all got different genetic profiles basically. But when we know our own profile, it can help us manage our experiences with more knowledge, I guess, more power on how we react to something. The differences do come a lot quite through hormones. So for example, someone might be more sensitive to adrenaline, for example, and say something happens where you have a negative response to that episode or that experience, you might be more likely to respond from the lens of adrenaline. So you might be more like wanting to attack. Like adrenaline's like that fight, we've got the fight, flight, freeze. So adrenaline's going to push someone more to react that way. And whereas someone else might react more from hide away or introversion rather than sort of fight into something. So the way that we respond to our experiences really will influence how we live our life, basically. So when we know that, we know we've got a particular genetic profile that is this way inclined, we can mitigate some of the ways that we respond, knowing that we're more likely to respond with an attack, for example, or more likely to run away from a thing. And so that's one way that we can use our genetic profile to influence how we might think about something and react to something, and hence our mental health or how we interpret all of that. There are other ways that we can look even deeper as well in our genetic sequence. Depending on what genes someone has, they may or may not metabolize certain hormones and neurotransmitters a particular way. And that can also affect our brain health. As can our diet. If we're not eating the right foods that allow these genes or enzymes to function properly, then you can also affect your mental health. It can be very complicated, so I'm just trying to keep it fairly simple, but personalities and all of that is like our biology. We are born with these predispositions to act and respond a certain way, and when we know that about ourselves, then we just can be a bit more empowered about the situation and our experience.
Denise, what are some tips for our viewers for them improving their mental health and resilience?
When it comes to mental health, if we think about our brain, it's largely fat. So eating lots of healthy fats like the omega-3s, the leafy greens, the fish, avocados, walnuts, all of those types of things to really help have a healthy brain is going to help from a physical perspective with our mental health. Exercise is another really great tip for people. If we could bottle exercise as a pill, antidepressant, the results that you get from exercise outweigh any benefit that a pill for depression might do. So exercise is always a really good one, just to be moving. And relationships, social relationships with people can help someone's mental health. If you're very isolated, it can be hard to manage what's going on, but when you've got good social support, then you can talk about what you're feeling and get support that way. But I think too, especially with mental health issues, if anyone has any concerns, then it's always best to seek professional advice to help someone navigate their mental health.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
Such important information. If you'd like to know more about Denise and how genetics and DNA can influence your mental health, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And that's all for us for today. We'll say bye-bye until next time.